Hey guys, it's Sam. I'm here with my final planner lineup for 2023, and this is in no way what I was expecting at all. So, as you might know, I had quite the planner freak out at the beginning of 2022, and then I had a good bit of portion of the year that I felt like I had things figured out and I knew what I was doing and I was enjoying what I was doing, and then I kind of got caught back up into the Hobonichi release, which is what generally happens every single year when Hobonichi is coming out with all of their new products. And then I'm like, oh, I don't want to miss out on this or that. Hobonichi has been part of my planner lineup for so long that I'm like, let's give it another try. And what usually happens with that is that I end up back in the Hobonichi weeks as I'm waiting for my Hobonichi products. And this is a very solid planner. Absolutely 100%, but I'm just trying to figure out how it works best in my life and my lineup. And then I was so sure that I was only going to use Moleskine, work around the things about the Moleskine that don't work for me by adding another book or pasting in month on 2 pages. And I was headed in that direction. And then all of the new Hobonichi dupes started coming out, and I ordered a whole bunch of those. And somehow in the midst of it, I found myself in holiday planning and life craziness. And whenever I am super busy, I always find that what works best for me is rings. So I don't like to use more than one system at a time, but I'm realizing that I don't have to keep up with all of the things to enjoy all of the things. And all of these things are good for me for different reasons. And so I'm just going to give myself permission to know these things are here for me, and I'm going to use them as needed and not feel guilty about it. So I'm not going to go too in depth into any of these in particular. I'm going to have some separate videos for that. But first up, I'm going to go ahead and address the Hobonichi weeks situation. So as you know, I have not been happy with the offerings from Hobonichi this year as far as the colors and designs of the covers. Nothing was just oh wow, that's the one I'm getting this year. I'm so in love with everything about it. I really enjoyed the floral covers that they had for several years, and I really enjoyed the neutral tones, and I'm not sure why they decided not to have anything like that this year, but it was definitely one of those things where if you are super in love with it, you are just automatically wanting to use it. And so I feel like maybe that has something to do with me just not feeling drawn to the Hobonichi weeks this year. And I've been very torn between the Mega, which I'm not happy with the color, and the regular. I will not be using both of these, but they were just both out. So here they are. I was very torn between if I was using the extra pages or if I was not using the extra pages. But I don't think that the Hobonichi weeks is going to be my everyday carry for this year. So I'm going to be choosing the regular weeks and not be using this Mega weeks. I'm not sure what I'll do with it. Maybe sell it. I'm not sure. But with it not being a daily carry, and see, it's still not even set up. These were recent final decisions where I was just okay, you're going to have to get your act together because it's almost the end of the year and you have no decisions completely made. So I decided basically to not decide. I really do love this particular layout. Has a lot of cons for me as far as, not a lot, that's unfair to say. I don't like the quotes. I don't like that there's no grid on this side, and the grid sizing is smaller than I would particularly enjoy. But I'm going to have this here because I see myself using my rings more than the other items, and coming back and having this as a memory planner because I do enjoy opening something up to the week and seeing the whole week in view as a memory of what I did. So that is how I plan on using the Hobonichi weeks. That might change, and it might change quickly, but that's how I intend to do it now. And so if I don't have to be in this every day, that doesn't cause me stress thinking I have 2 planners to keep up with, because this, if I look at it as a memory book, then that's okay. And I'm going to be able to easily transfer information over. And I might sometimes feel like doing that once a day, and I might feel like sometimes doing that once a week, and that's okay. So the Hobonichi weeks, as of now, has a place as a memory planner or a memory keeper in my lineup. Also, in the same similar size is the Orastel Annie Plans collab, and I recently did an unboxing with this and was completely smitten with it, and I still do love it. But I haven't really written in it a lot since I got it, and that was because I pretty quickly went into rings after this came, just because I had so many things going on. And the thing that I love about this particular planner is I don't usually have a lot going on, has to be done, like appointments on specific days, but I like to have more space to just throw down a random to-do list or whatever. Like, I've started for today, these are the things that I want to get done today, and I need the ability to have more room for that. I know that you can get that in the back of a Mega Weeks, but I like that this is already dated for you and you don't have to worry about it. So I wasn't sure exactly if I was going to use this as a journal, or if I was going to use this in place of the weeks or whatever. And the truth is, I like both of these kinds of systems so much. So I love rings for its versatility, and I just feel so functional when I'm in this. And I love a bound book because it's a bound book. I love that everything is already here for you. So I know throughout the year that I'm going to go back and forth on what feels right to me at the moment. And so this is going to be the book that I turn to when I am annoyed at the rings and I want to be in a bound book. I'm not sure at the moment, because I don't like to keep up with so many things, how well I'll keep up with this, because it's not going to be a memory planner. It's going to just be a planner. I have made that decision. So this is not going to be a journal. Although it's a nice idea for a journal, I don't think that it's going to be a journal. See, now I'm already questioning myself, because I love that you can just like put a sticker, a picture down here and go. But that just doesn't happen every week for me anymore. Our kids are getting older and they don't want us to take pictures of them anymore. And I'm not going to like plop a picture of my planner in here. So yeah, this is the planner that I'm going to use, my bound book planner. Now comes to the Pocket Moleskine, and I love this planner. I love this planner with a couple of tweaks. Moleskine, are you listening? With a couple of tweaks, this could be my main squeeze. It's nice and thin, so I think that it could have a couple of extra pages added. I would adore if they turned this guy into a month on 2 pages. I think that it just really needs bigger squares for the monthlies to be usable. And then I'd like to see a bunch of the information pages, which I just don't know that many people at all use. I would love to see these gone, all of this, and for us to gain some pages in the back, because I don't have to have a whole bunch of pages in the back like the Hobonichi Mega Weeks, but I need to have something. So I feel like this could be bulked out to the 18-month size of the same planner, and all of those pages get taken up with just lined pages. If I was a designer for Moleskine, that is exactly what I would suggest. I would also suggest they move this October and week 43 up a little bit and make all of the days of the week have the same exact spacing. It used to be that I had just as much going on a Sunday as any other day of the week. Now that I'm off and I just have church functions, there still might be something extra going on this day, but it's not as big of a deal for me now. But where this one really, I think the design kind of gets lost with it all is when they add in these holidays and such on this weekend days. And so when you have something like this going on, then most of the places that you have for that particular day is taken up. Like, look at this one. There's absolutely nowhere for you to write anything here. So that is definitely a detraction, a negative for using this planner as your only planner for the year. And yes, I know there is such a thing as whiteout, but I don't want to have to go through and do that to all of my planner to make it usable. Oh, there's a quote in this one. I don't think there's a quote in the others from 2022. Let's see. Every Moleskine notebook is a book yet to be written and a story waiting to be told. Okay, Maria, co-founder and president, I'm speaking to you. Just make these couple of changes and this is going to be the perfect notebook. I know that it's not everybody's opinion, but Moleskine paper is my absolute favorite. I adore this paper. And I have a couple of these for the year. I have this one and I have the Alice in Wonderland one. And here's the deal. Sometimes I don't want a planner this size in my bag, and I definitely don't want a planner this size in my bag. Sometimes I never leave the house without something like this just because I can't. But sometimes I want to wear my smaller bags and, you know, a personal ring planner or even a Hobonichi or a Hobonichi-esque planner in a cover are too big and bulky if you're just like running out or whatever. And so this weighs practically nothing to just be in my bag at all times, not in a cover. I love how you don't have to. Like with one of these, you just feel like you have to have some kind of something for it. But this just has this simple elastic closure and that's perfect. Absolutely perfect. So this is just going to stay in my bag and I'm going to keep it updated with appointments, like doctor's appointments, hair appointments, that kind of thing. So that even if I've run out without my planner, this is going to be in my bag, which is where the one for this year is currently. It's in my purse right now. So that I don't miss anything if I want to run out light. And then we have this. So we're just going to continue on with the Moleskine. This one I just got. Oh, this was supposed to be soft cover. Well, I guess it doesn't matter. Okay, so this is hardcover. Why I didn't notice it when I grabbed it out of the Amazon package, I don't know. But I guess the hardcover is fine too. So you know that I am not like the journaling queen. So I do find myself having the urge to write some things down though, and not get stressed about having to write a lot. So I can condense journal like you have no idea. I'm good at it. So I would like this to be, and maybe it's better that it's the hardback, because I'd like to keep this at my bedside and it's going to stand up on I have a really tiny bedroom and a very tiny nightstand. So if I just have this kind of sitting on my nightstand, that might actually work better than the soft cover. The issue with that is then I wouldn't have like a cover for it, but it's not needed. I think that this is going to be good. So this is where I plan to, at the end of the day, have, you know, my private personal thoughts. This would be then where I would put a photo if I wanted to of something that happened during the day, which does not leave a lot of room for a lot of words, but pictures are worth 1,000 words, right? So this is what I'm going to use for my journal and not worry about what I have to say in it, because this is going to stay private for the most part. I might share a peek of it every once and again, but it's mainly going to just be for me. So these are my bound books for the year. And last but not least, this is totally not what I was expecting. I used Pocket Plus rings for a good portion of 2022, and I was waiting on a Moterm A6, which actually just arrived. I think it's in the caramel color. And now I can't remember if this is honey or caramel, but I was waiting on my pre-order and it finally arrived just a couple days ago. And I thought that if I used anything, rings, for the year, it would definitely either be pocket with Pocket Plus inserts or A6, because I really do enjoy that square shape. And I thought that I would use something different because I'm just so used to the Hobonichi Weeks like layout, but this just kind of happened organically. And I know that my husband loves it when I do this, but I was like fretting over all of my decisions and everything. And I was like, well, how does this, if you had this in your hand and this in your hand, like, which do you like the feel of better? And it was kind of a comical conversation because, first of all, he doesn't really care that much about all of the, he's got I don't know, this year he really went for it. I think he has like a $15 planner from Target, which has fabulous paper. It doesn't have lines though, so that would drive me nuts. But he obviously doesn't care about like the leather components or whatever. But he was like, well, I had like the Malden in hand, which I really wish they would fix that stupid pen loop. I saw that Filofax came out with a new leather binder, but you can't do anything with their rings. And I saw that it was 30 millimeter, and that's just too big for me. It looks like a lovely planner, but they need to talk to me. I need to tell them the right kind of binder to make, or at least they need to listen to the whole fix the pen loop on the Malden issue, because it's otherwise just a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful planner cover, but you've got to be able to use the stupid pen loop. So when the A6 came, I popped back out my A6 inserts and I was like, I really do appreciate that you have, a little bit more side to side in the A6. And I just really like the shape of this. But then I started thinking about the issues that I had when I was in Pocket Plus and A6. And they are small, I guess, issues, but for me, personal rings won for a couple of reasons. One is I really do like the way it feels when you carry it, and I like the way it looks when you open up the pages. Let me see. This is my yeah, this is my marker and not even using it. I forgot that I put it in there actually. I just remembered to grab these out last night. So I like the way this, looks, the shape of the page and everything, which is very similar then to like the Hobonichi Weeks. But the reason why I ultimately went with it is because when I was in both Pocket Plus and A6, you can find things for those books. But you can't find everything. Very, very often, if you go to a printables page or you're looking for like dividers and such, you can find them in most sizes. But if a shop is going to be missing one, it's definitely going to be Pocket Plus. And then as far as the A6 goes, there's only so many companies that offer like the rings, and that's not like a huge deal because I only usually use a couple of brands, but it's just kind of frustrating when you're thinking about using something else maybe and not just being stuck with the same exact cover for the whole year or the same exact layout. Like I really do like the Moterms, and I know that these are the Luxe model, but I feel like there's just a little bit too much going on with them. It could lay a little flatter. I don't have to have all of those pockets. I don't have to have a back pocket. What do I have in here? Oh, it's notes for what I need to add to my planner. But I don't have to have this. I could easily put that in the rings. And then A6, it's also difficult sometimes to find dividers and such for, like really silly things. Like I have grown very accustomed when I'm in rings to using these clear Filofax rulers to be the place where I turn to. And I have found some substitutes with that, like with different planner shops, but I just really like this. And you get these with a pocket planner, but I make my inserts bigger with Pocket Plus. And so then that kind of stuff doesn't work anymore. And I don't really like the mismatch. If you're using Pocket Plus, you basically are just stuck printing all of your own inserts. And I don't like the mismatch, like going from Pocket to Pocket Plus in the same book. And that's just a me thing, but whatever. And then in the same vein with A6, Filofax doesn't make A6 size even, so you can't get anything like that. And so I was just like, okay, well, I do like the shape, and it's easiest to find things in just a standard personal size, because like everywhere, everybody has personal size. And I really do like having, especially for writing notes, that long page to write things. The width that you lose isn't a huge amount. It's just a little bit, so not a big deal. But this is working really well. I have been writing all of the things down, which is something that I've noticed about myself. When I'm using rings, things don't stay trapped in my head. Like if I have this guy with me, maybe not this one, I'm going to write down things more in this one. But when I have the weeks, when I have this with me, I'm like, ooh. And I know there is such a thing as a phone to write notes in. But for me personally, I can't have my phone out at work anymore with my new job. And so I can't pull that out and just like jot a whole bunch of stuff down. And then I often forget that I wrote something like that in my phone anyway, because I have a natural tendency to want to write things down with pen and paper. So when I am in rings and I know that this paper doesn't have to stay in my planner, I'm writing all the things down. I'm writing all of it, and nothing stays trapped in my head, and I'm finding myself getting more things done and not forgetting things that I needed to do. And that is what I need right now. It's the holiday season. We have a crap ton of kids, and I just want to get all of the things done, you know? So this is perfect for me right now, and I don't know how long this will be like the main squeeze of my planner situation, but I am so much enjoying it. I have almost all of the things that I need printed out and ready for 2023, and I'm going to be doing a full video about this, so I don't want to get all into that now, because with all of these choices, it's already a long enough video. But I'm not going to be using 5 planners, but this will be my journal. This will be it's just in my bag. And that way I get to use the lovely paper because I love it. And then memories. And this is going to be my backup. When I'm annoyed at rings, I'm going to use this as my planner instead. So technically, I'll be using 2 planners, but I don't plan to keep up with both of these at the same time. And then memories, just in case, journal. So that's my lineup for this year. I thought I was never going to get anywhere. And I still haven't set up like this week's, and I'm not sure that I'm going to. I'm afraid at this point, if I put like all my stickers and stuff in it that I purchased for the year, that's going to be like where it dies. It seems to be like as soon as I put a sticker on something in the last year, I stop using it immediately after. So no stickers are going in here, at least for now. So no setup video per se for anything here. But I'll be doing a video hopefully very soon about the personal rings. What have you guys decided for the year? I'm very interested to hear. I thought I was going to use that Passport TN, but strings just get on my nerves. I don't like the books stacked on top of each other. So hopefully I still use that for its intended purpose originally, which would be to track and record when we go to record stores, because I just wanted that little offshoot of a memory. I know that those are actually really popular right now. I feel like every time I open up my YouTube, there's a Passport TN video there by somebody, but it's not what's going to work for me, and that's okay. I'm going to use what I'm going to use, and if nobody likes rings right now, that's still good, but they're working for me. So I'd love to hear what you guys have chosen or what you're between for your plans for 2023. Leave those in the comments below. I can't wait to hear what you guys are using. If you like this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. And if you're new around here and don't want to miss future videos, please consider subscribing. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you again soon. Bye.